In this video, I'll tell you how to create and export trimline, how to check exported files, and make corrections of trimline. Let's start it. Trimline I will create for this virtual setup. To do it, I open menu Export and Print Prepare. To switch on trimline, in the menu Trimline, I should click Enable. We see here trimline that was created before for this case. It doesn't suit for trimline machine, and I will show you how to create your own trimline preset. I open menu Details, and first of all I want to adjust offset for upper jaw for vestibular side. I use mouse scroll to set value 1.6 mm. In the viewport we see a result. The same offset I want to make for lingual side. Rotate model to see lingual side. To smooth out these waves on lingual side, I use option Lingual Smooth. The less value, the more smooth trimline. For example, I set 21. It seems is not enough. A little reduce it again. Now I set the same value for vestibular side. I can just enter this value using keyboard. Now I want to redefine offset and smooth option for molars and premolar. I expand menu upper jaw. Please pay attention, we can see only this for upper jaw. I can skip settings for last molars, but for example I fill them. Now we don't see any changes, because trimline does not capture last molars. The same way I set values for teeth number 2, 3, 4, and we can see in the viewport how trimline is changing. Absolutely same way I adjust settings for teeth from left side. You know, patients can have different number of teeth, but anyway they all have last teeth. This option allows you to set settings for last teeth. I change in this option and we don't see any changes for last molar. Why? Because trimline doesn't capture this tooth. In few moments later I'll show you how to adjust capturing trimline of the last teeth. Now let's take a look at our trimline that we created. After I finished adjusting, I will save it as a trimline preset. Another important feature is start point for trimline machine. At present I adjust trimline for Quark machine, and manufacturer recommends to set start point near tooth 14 for upper jaw. And direction of trimline is clockwise. In the menu, direction has name reverse. This red arrow shows this direction. Another settings is offset this start point. It allows you to move start point. Well, let's adjust settings how trimline captures last teeth. The first one in the drop-down list is tooth stop point. This method highly depends on tooth surface. Smooth distance is a common function of smoothing a part of trimline where it goes up on tooth. The next method captures entire last teeth. The last method allows you to set a % of a tooth width that has to be included into trimline. At present we see here 50%. If I increase this value, trimline moves. Trimline machine manufacturer recommends to avoid going over trimline via deep fishes. Now I show you how smooth distance function affects on trimline. Look at this place. Change value again. I browse trimline to be sure that everything was adjusted. We see trimline a little rough because it is just preview. Also there is an important feature that allows you set distance in millimeters between the trimline points that will be created after exporting of models. Default value is 0.25. Now I set 0.2. To save these trimline settings for using next time, I click Save Profile. I was editing existing profile, that's why we see here name. I click Save to update it. Please pay attention, we have adjusted Streamline settings only for upper jaw. To adjust Streamline settings for lower jaw, please select in the right side menu only lower. Now I show you how work Streamline presets. In the list, I select existing Streamline profile and click button Apply Profile. In the viewport we see Streamline changed. Then I select Streamline profile that I just created and click Apply. We see in viewport Streamline was rebuilt. I close settings and go to preview mode. To see rough preview models, I click button Generate. I browse model how it looks after exporting. And I should add mounting feature for our Streamline machine. I found in the left side menu tab Mounting Features and select Quark. On the model we see preview of mounting features. Also it is very important to select placement rule. Placement rule has to be selected all at center of the coordinate system. Then I select aligner steps that I want to export. Click Show List to see models that will be exported. Then click button Export. In this window I can see exporting folder, mask name settings and other options. For Streamline machine Quark, it is important to export Streamline files with the same names as files of models. Before I start exporting, I set available threads. After that I choose Start regular export. As well I could choose background export. In the folder where were exported files we can see STL files and Streamline PTS files. Also we can see special system file EDZ. We can open this file with special viewer. In the Others tab, click button Export Results Viewer. In the left side menu, click Open File and select EDZ file. In the left side menu, in the list you can see files that were exported. There are couples Streamline file and STL file. To edit Streamline, please switch on checkbox Edit Contour. If Streamline is not rendered, please select Streamline file in the list left side menu. Now I can check model and Streamline and make corrections of Streamline. To move Streamline, use left mouse button. After model was checked, I select the next one. Changes that hasn't been saved are marked in the list of models with yellow. I can save changes for each file separately. Files where changes were saved are marked with green. Also I can save all changes for all files with only button. After Streamline files are ready, you should convert them into G-code.